All right, what up, though? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a special impromptu episode of Detroit Lions Live. This is not going to be a reoccurring thing, but we have to talk about some things, and I wanted some immediate feedback. I'll be back on Syndicate Sports Detroit probably next week, day after the Super Bowl. I just needed a little bit of a break, man. I had to detach a little bit, but I want to talk about some things, and I think I got to give a fair warning out to everybody that watches this on playback, all right? But before we do that, let's shout out Go Lions, Shift God, Kevin, what's up, LL Dub, Dennis, we got Lauren, Fave, what's up, Andre, Sweet and Sour, what's good, Rich, what's good with y'all, Marlon, what's up? All right, so first and foremost, if you announce that you're unsubscribing, make sure that you go out with a bang, because anyone who announces that they're unsubscribing from the channel, I make sure you don't get a chance to come back. I will block anybody that says that. To me, I understand that's the only thing that you have, the only power you wield, but you don't have to watch. To announce your departure to me is just weak. So I make sure you don't come back, just to put it out there. So make sure that if you say that, you intend to never come back on this channel. It's all right to be in your feelings and unsubscribe, but I take that extremely, to me, that's offensive. If you want to unsubscribe, fine. To say you're going to unsubscribe is a flex, and I'm not going to have that. So I've always been like that. All right. So let's get into it. We're going to be on for the goal is an hour. The goal is an hour. I need a little clock right in front of me, man, to tell me when we're off. So here's when it's time to go. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to blow up this other screen. I need to know how long I've been on. My goal is to be off in an hour. Today is BOGO Tuesday at Buffalo Wild Wings. Traditional wings, bro. So we back at it. That's going to be like on the day after the Super Bowl. I'm going to start my weight loss kick again, cut back on the drinks. You know what I'm saying? Calorie count. We're talking about 1,900 calories a day, a lot of rice cakes, a lot of popcorn. And on Tuesdays, we having Buffalo Wild Wings. That's what we going to do. All right. So I got to save some calories for that. What's up, everybody in the chat? What up? All right. Nate, it's Fave, you stupid, bro. So here's the deal. I just think it's weak. I just think it's people like, oh my God, I don't like how you are. I'm unsubscribing. Why do you have to say it? You know what I'm saying? Just do it and be gone. You don't have to announce it like Steve Urkel. I don't have to sit here and take this. I'm going home. Okay. If you got to announce it, then I'll make sure you don't come back. Anyway, just something that I've always been like that. All right. So here's where we're at. I want you guys to be ready for a very bumpy ride this offseason when it comes to Lions Syndicate. I am not in the business of hurting feelings, but I'm also in the business of keeping it 100. And I refuse. This year, I'm going to be extremely critical of one person. That's it. Brad Holmes, I'm on him. I'm on him. And the gloves are off. Playtime is over. It's time to get some things done. Now, I've got kind of a scenario that I'm trying to look at. We got Chappelle Show. What's up, bro? Appreciate that. Shift Guy says you're going to lose people is the NFL. That's 100%. But the fact is they always have to put it in the comment section that I'm unsubscribing because of this, right? And I'm just like, why can't you just do it? Why do you have to announce? It's like they have to put it in my face that they're unsubbing. So I just, it's something that I don't like. As a creator, it's very difficult to please everyone. You can't do that, right? But so it's just a little pet peeve of mine that I got. So because a lot of people get in their feelings and they leave and then they wind up coming back but you don't think I'm like that? Like I'm always in my feelings, right? But anyway, so this particular live stream, the reason that I wanted to go live is because I wanted to show you guys what they're talking about Myles Garrett is going to go for. Now, I made a video yesterday or just before I went live that will be coming out after this. And my off-season focus is going to be strictly like we're going to talk about players that we need to re-sign and things like that. But like I said, the gloves are off. I'm not playing any games with Brad Holmes. He needs to bolster up this defensive line. OK, if somebody says that we need depth on our team, you don't watch enough Detroit Lions football. That's all we had on our team was depth. Now, did that depth get hurt? Yes. But we don't have starters on our team. And now I see from NFL.com that with the 28th pick in the 2025 NFL draft, the Detroit Lions are taking a defensive tackle. I will lose my absolute mind if we don't get an edge rusher. Matter of fact, the edge rusher. I'm going to show you how Brad Holmes can get this done. I pray to God that we get a pass rush. It will take telling Sue we were wrong. You're the best pass rusher in generation. Forgive us. Bradley, Matthias, Jerome, Luther Jerome. That's funny, man. It's a spiritual thing, man. What's up, J-Rod? I give up. Let me see. If we do get Myles Garrett, I'll still like to draft a DE or two. It's always good to have depth. Yes, we did. Jim Fisher says, sorry, man, you not all that done with you. Okay. All right, Jim. See, Jim, I appreciate Jim. I appreciate Jim, bro. Let's give a moment of silence for Jim. As a matter, man, I left my phone. Boom, boom, boom. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, boom, boom, boom. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, boom, boom, boom. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, boom, boom, boom. Who else? I got time today. Who else, bro? No, listen, I'm good. This is part of the business. This is what I do. I'm not like crying in a corner somewhere. This is the business. All right. So, Steam, I saw that. And if I saw that the Lions are reportedly interested in Cooper Kupp. I just made a video about him last night, total flop, but I might have to do an update video. So if anybody got that information, please let me know. Now, Nolan says, Derek, we passed on Jalen Carter, a DT that can disrupt. It doesn't have to be an edge, but I understand your logic. Nolan, very true. That's 100% true. But here's why that is unacceptable to me. Okay? Without the addition of Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, Trey Hendrickson, Myles is probably the most available at the moment. All right? You guys ready? Let me tell you. This soundboard. Let me tell you why that is unacceptable for me. With the 96th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Broderick Martin. That is unacceptable to me. And I'm going to show you now why Brad Holmes, he's on the list. Like he is all I'm coming after this year. Brad Holmes is on the list. Let me tell you something. Okay? To the people who talk about building through the draft, that's what the Lions have done. And see, y'all don't dissect the team like me every day. Every single day, I'm talking or thinking about this team. We can go back, and the Lions have done exactly that. They've built through the draft so much that in 2023, they took projects at offensive lineman, a guy by the name of Kobe Sorsdahl. Project. Then we took Broderick the Project in 2023 as well. So that whole building through the draft, that's exactly what Brad has been doing. In 2023, he felt that we could draft project defensive linemen. That's why I will not tolerate a defensive tackle. Then you go out and you sign DJ Reader, a DT. I will not tolerate, but what have you done at edge, Brad? Nothing. You have not done anything because Josh Pascal is not it. Levi is not it. And as far as I remember, they were both drafted as DTs, but they could be DT. Tomato, it varies. You go and you sign, Marcus, that Mekhi Wingo is a DT. That's all you've done. Where is the edge help, Brad? It's not. We don't have it. You went and your move at an edge was a guy who literally played 4 games in 2023. That's why I will not get off him. He has zero room for me. None. That's why we didn't go to the Super Bowl in 2023. Okay. J-Rod says, don't rate my picks until after year 3, Brad Holmes. That means, so let me ask y'all a question. If Broderick Martin is going into year 3. The Lions thought enough of him to trade up. Why would we draft a defensive tackle this season when we traded up to get one 2 years ago? In addition to that, we've got Mekhi Wingo as a DT. Why do we need to draft a first-round defensive tackle when we got a third-rounder who might have been undrafted? Can anybody put that in the comment section below? By the way, I want to shout out Detroit Sports Podcast. You know those guys from SI, John Macron. You see him all the time on Crunch Time Sports. Christian Boer, those guys. They have started a YouTube channel. I don't have the link in my comment section, but just search it up. They just started it within the past couple days, maybe, and it's here. Okay, Nolan says you came prepared. You got it. What about Jack Sawyer? He can still be there. We could trade up, but I'm going to show you guys why Brad is in a can't-miss situation. He cannot mess this up. You just said during your season-ending press conference that pass rushers like this don't fall off trees, that they're very tough to get. Well, guess what, Brad? You got a chance to get the pass rusher. The pass rusher. C. Poole in the building with the dono. Appreciate you. Says both 2023 projects and the 2024 projects were active, one game between them this year. Not only that, C. Poole, we about to break this thing down. Let me go right into this. Shout out to you, bro. Let's go right into the people that talk about building through the draft. Let's take a look at Brad Holmes' 2024 NFL draft, and you tell me what you think this is. We're already built. You know why? Because you don't do this, what he did in 2024, if you're still building. This team is already built. Let me show you what I mean. In 2024, by far, Brad Holmes' worst draft picks of as far as impact players, immediate impact players, was 2024. Terrion Arnold, he had a tough assignment. I'm not mad at him. He was on the best wide receivers in the game. He was baptized in the funk. That's what Terrion Arnold. He got a lot of work to do, but overall, I got no complaints. Ennis Rakestraw, second-round pick. Where was he at? He was hurt. Giovanni Manu, project. Sione Vaki, where was he at? Mekhi Wingo, a sixth-round defensive tackle, got injured, out for the season. Christian Mahogany played very well, project. So out of all these players, the only one who made an immediate contribution was the first pick in the 2024 NFL draft. That was the first one. So if you're building, you don't do this if you're building. You take projects if you're built. Can we all agree? Or am I missing something? What's up, Studios, with the dono? His first super chat on the channel, which is a big deal. Appreciate you, my man. Says, we used a third-round pick for DPJ. I thought it was a sixth-round pick, but that's crazy. So if you're building through the draft, you get building blocks, right? Building blocks, Jahmyr Gibbs, Aiden Hutchins, foundational pieces. A guy like Penei Sewell. You don't get projects if you're in the building phase. You're talking about foundational pieces. These players ain't playing for 2 to 3 years. So, okay, for all the people talking about building through the draft, okay, there you have it. Our team is built already. Because out of our 6, we had 6 draft picks, only 1 made an immediate impact, and he had a tough task. That's 5 draft picks that did very little to nothing in that draft. So none of them contributed. Where's the building through the draft at? We're already built, right? So can we agree on that? They held DPJ all season just to let him go. Project should be 7th rounder or the last pick in the draft. Oh, it's going to get even better. What's up, Stat Pat? Derek, people scared this will be like the Chase Young trade. Shift God, Chase Young ain't Myles Garrett, bro. So if you talk about people who don't know ball, if you going to compare, not you, but if somebody going to compare Myles Garrett, a multiple defensive player of the year, the reigning DOP, the DPOY, then they don't watch enough football, okay? That's just bottom line. Chase Young is lazy. Myles Garrett ain't. So that's just, they need football 101. Watch football 101. Okay? Can't build a dynasty. I don't know who else to tell people. All right, so he was a 6th-round pick. Derek, what would you do if we drafted a DT in the 1st round? Watch and find out. Watch and find out. I will clown Brad Holmes to the ends of the earth because you traded up to get one, but it didn't work out. But you don't want to take a risk on Myles Garrett? Come on, dog. Okay, now, this is going to be in my video later, but let's take a listen. We're going to listen to Daniel Jeremiah off the Rich Eisen show. I could really get used to going live every day, too. I might, Syndicate Sports Detroit, we might get there because I'll be having a lot of stuff today to say. Here's Rich Eisen, Daniel Jeremiah. He does the drafts and stuff like that, the mock drafts. Here's what he had to say about the Myles Garrett situation.
So the Kirk Cousins plan, is that why Myles Garrett demanded a trade, Daniel? So
I don't know, but my phone blew up when that got sent.
So your phone blows up when Myles Garrett says he wants out of Cleveland. Your thoughts on that before I let you go, or what?
I personally, and I know they've said, Andrew Berry has said, we're not moving him. I think Myles Garrett did them a huge, huge favor because I do think it's in their best interest to trade him. But if he doesn't demand a trade and you trade him, you're going to have a big section of your fan base. And having worked there, I know how this is. In Cleveland, because the team success hasn't been there, they're very attached to their guys. And they can say, look, Joe Thomas was here from start to finish. He's our guy, and he's going straight into the Hall of Fame. And maybe our teams weren't all that great, but he's our guy. Like that's what we're going to hold on to. And Myles Garrett the same way. So if he would have just traded him without Myles Garrett requesting a trade, there's a bunch of people that'd be like, how do you trade a first ballot Hall of Famer? It's all it's kind of all we got here. We have our stars, and he's one of those. Now you can just say, look, we would have kept. He didn't want to be here. So at that point in time, this allows you to start collecting assets for the future, and kind of have a little reset period here, because you can look at it and say he is an unbelievable player, but when you don't have the quarterback, to some degree, it doesn't even matter. So I tend to believe, I think that their quarterback is in the 26th draft. And I would be doing everything I could, to get as many resources in 26 and 27, which would allow me to get that accomplished. And also I wouldn't be, opposed to them even trading down in this draft to get more resources for the future. But that's where I am.
So what do you think the cost is going to be? What is Andrew Berry going to demand now that you think that Myles Garrett is taking the pressure off of him by saying, I want out? What do you think?
I think you get 2 ones. And then, maybe there's maybe if it's a team that's picking in the back of the first round, maybe it's, this year's one, next year's one, plus a little something extra, maybe a player, another pick. I don't think you can get 3 ones, but I think you can get 2. And if you're picking at the bottom, which if he wants to go to a winner, I would imagine, they would do their best to try and accommodate him from that standpoint. So there will be a lot of teams picking at the back of the draft be interested in that one.
Washington? I mean, that's the one that just keeps leaping at me because he checks a box of that they're on the rise. It checks a box for the Browns that they get him out of conference. Detroit obviously checks that box too. So those are a couple that just leap to mind on that front.
NFC side, 100%. I would make a case.
Rams? Do you think the Rams could? I mean,
they don't really need him. It's crazy to say it, but their young D line is so good. I mean, they're so cheap. That was the first thing I thought of. As soon as I saw that he was like, well, Les probably already texted him because he's so aggressive. But I'm looking at their team, and I mean, he's got one of the best defensive lines in the NFL right now, and they're young and cheap. So I don't know that that's the right one for them. But Detroit, 100%. I mean, that is, you put him on the opposite side of Hutchinson, and that'll solve a lot of your problems.
All right, there you go. And I got a video addressing this very subject very later. No, I turned autoplay off. I don't know why autoplay is still on, man. I turned it off. Okay, let me turn it off. And maybe it's on my computer. I don't know. So you heard Daniel Jeremiah. And shout out to Greg with the dono, says Cleveland receives a 2025 first round, 28, and second round, 60, 2025, a first round, and a fifth for Garrett, and a fourth. All right, I got something better. And we're going to discuss that as well. But thank you for that super chat, my man. We're going to go over that stuff. So where are we at? All right, Superintendent Chalmers says, I can't see this happening. Now, okay, granted, Brad Holmes is in competition with literally 30 other teams. So all I can ask for him is maximum effort. Maximum effort. It's kind of like I said yesterday, you talking all this junk, right? This bully, you like, man, I wish he would. Man, if he was here right now, bro, square up. I'm in your face. If he was here right now, I tell him this. Like a lot of y'all said, I wouldn't tell these people to their face. My energy would be different if I saw them in their face. That's why I'm not in their face, because my energy would not be any different. That's why I don't want credentials, because I don't care about relationships with these guys. I care about them as people, and it's cool to meet them, but I'm not trying to be their friend because I want to be able to criticize and critique, right? So I want wins. I'm trying to get wins. Relationships is cool, but I want W's. I want championships. That's what I want. All right, so you heard Daniel Jeremiah, and you like how Washington comes up first? The Commanders come up first. You know what the Commanders are? The Detroit Lions of last year. They are the team everybody is talking about. I wouldn't be surprised if the Washington Commanders are above us in next year's Super Bowl favorites. I'm going to keep it a buck. They went further than us. We took a step back. They took a step forward. I could see them being above us next season, right? Now, Brad Holmes cannot mess this up. We've already established that he's already built. Our team is built. The foundation. We are drafting future pieces now. We're not even drafting. The 2024 NFL draft was of minimal impact. You could almost say none at all. But I'll give Terrion Arnold a little credit. Had a tough assignment, came out the gate on Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, had Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, DK Metcalf. I mean, the list got on and on. The dude was up against it. I'm with him. I cut him some slack. But everyone else, Sione Vaki, oh, he's going to do this. What? I mean, come on, bro. I'm not, and we traded up to get him too. Future piece. Out of the 6 draft picks, 5 had very little to do with the success of the 2024 NFL season. Now, let me see if I can pull up the Detroit Lions 2023 draft just to kind of refresh myself. But let's go to, how can Myles Garrett get to Detroit? Brad Holmes cannot. Scared money don't make no money. And Brad Holmes been scared. Now, we could have taken, most likely, Jalen Carter, and still got Jahmyr Gibbs 12th overall. I really feel like Jalen, I wouldn't have taken him. Okay. I know why they didn't take him. But could they? If you wanted Jalen Carter, we could have still got Jahmyr Gibbs at 12. We could have had Jalen Carter on D and Jahmyr Gibbs on offense. No shot to Jack Campbell, but Jack Campbell is not Jalen Carter. Pringle with the dono, appreciate you, bro, says Brad stuck in the glory days of drafting Aaron Donald. Well, guess what? That person, can this kid that y'all put, this guy that he's going to draft, this DT at 28, can he get 15 sacks? Can he get 10 sacks? Because if he can't, I don't want to hear it. Can he get 10 sacks his rookie season? Can he get 10 sacks? Is he equal to or greater than Chris Jones, Quinnen Williams, Jeffrey Simmons, Deron Payne? If he not that guy, I don't want to hear it, because you traded up to get Broderick Martin. Okay? Now, let's skip forward. Myles Garrett, let's just hypothetically say Andrew Berry, okay, in all intents and purposes, will not trade Myles Garrett to a AFC team. That excludes 15 teams. Now, let's go to, if you're Myles Garrett, you got to believe that you're going to have some type of say-so. Very similar. Matthew Stafford did not have a no-trade clause in his contract. However, the Lions accommodated him. They let him pick the team. Carolina Panthers wanted Matthew Stafford. Stafford said no. It went to the Rams came knocking that he said, okay, cool, I'll go there. I think that's the same thing that's going to happen to Myles Garrett. So Brad Holmes already got the leg up, because you would have to say, if Andrew Berry is a smart GM, he's not going to trade him anywhere in the AFC. So that leaves you 16 teams. Now, if you're Myles Garrett, let's look at those 16 teams, and and this is non-biased. I'm going to give you a non-biased take of teams that I would want to go to that probably needs me, right? Because you got to equate that. You got to put that into the equation as well. So let's take a look at the NFC conference. And let's look at who we're talking about. Let's start from the bottom. You're not going to the Giants. You're not going to the Saints. You're not going to the Panthers. You're not going to the Bears. Okay, cool. The 49ers. There are a bunch of money to a bunch of people. I'm not sure they could afford him. That would be terrifying if they were to get their hands on Myles Garrett. I would absolutely die. The Cowboys, they haven't done anything. Keep in mind, Myles wants to compete for a Super Bowl. So let's add the 49ers. I'll put them on there. Dallas Cowboys, no. Arizona Cardinals, no. Seattle Seahawks, no. Falcons, no. Packers, perhaps. The Packers could be, I would absolutely lose my mind if he goes to the Green Bay Packers. They need a pass rusher as well. Not as bad as we do, but they need a pass rush as well. The Washington Commanders are the team that keeps popping up. The Minnesota Vikings, they paid a lot of money to Grenard and Van Ginkel. He's not going there. The Rams, they got all they need. The Buccaneers, are they really in Super Bowl contention? Not really. The Eagles, they got all they need. What does that leave? The Detroit Lions. That's why I said Brad Holmes cannot blow this opportunity. And then, ladies and gentlemen, let's not forget about our dog, Zadarius Smith, who I made a video about yesterday. Could you imagine Zadarius trying to lure Miles? Dog, I've been here for 2 months. You talking about, you know what you could do for this city? I've been here for 2 months and they love me. They would eat you up. I already see the PR right now. Where's my, hold on. Where did I put it? Come on, Derek, what are you doing, bro? Oh. Dang. Hey, yo, I was going to show you the popcorn bucket. The popcorn bucket, I already got it mapped out. And now you got a reason the Fords can charge all that money for them seats, right? But could you imagine? I was going to get the popcorn bucket. You got Hutch, his back like this. You got Garrett on the other side. They back to back. Then you got Zadarius Smith in the middle. Bruh, I'm talking about marketing dream. Okay? Now, here's the thing, J Love. I was going to bring that up as well, but he wants to go to a contender. Here's the thing. Does Myles Garrett think that the Bears, he would make them Super Bowl contenders? And here's another reason why, and I'm going to make a video about this later, so I hope I can remember all this stuff, that the Detroit Lions could appeal. Why I think that if you're an NFC team, the two teams that I could realistically see in this order are the Detroit Lions and the 49ers. The 49ers are risky, but they got a lot of money they paying to everybody. Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Trent Williams. They probably don't have the money. We could squeeze it out. Now, the Bears are a possibility if he thinks that they're true contenders. Does he think that Caleb Williams, Benedict Johnson, Liquid Snake make them Super Bowl contenders? I'm going to say no. And here's another thing. This is why I feel that this is the Lions trade to blow. This is Brad Holmes' trade to blow. If you are Myles Garrett and you're sitting back non-biased, and you're looking at the NFC, okay, Andrew Berry is not going to trade me to an AFC team. So that takes out 15 other teams. We already went over it. Let me see. What teams would I really like to go to? The only one that I truly think is a threat is the Washington Commanders, and that's simply because they beat us. But if I'm Myles Garrett and I'm looking at the trajectory of the Detroit Lions, I'm saying to myself, we swept the division in 2024. We went 5-1 in 2023. The Lions are 11-1 in division in 2 seasons. We were the first seed. You literally cannot get any better than we played. I mean, well, you could be 17-0. So if I'm Miles, I'm saying, wait a minute. The Commanders still got to go through the Eagles, and they about to be in the Super Bowl. I don't know if I want to do that. I want a decent road as well. So the Lions have shown for the past 2 seasons that they've owned the division. And I think that win in Minnesota goes a long way to luring people to Detroit. I do. Miles could have said, I don't know. And they did that without me. So imagine what they're going to do with me. So if you add in Myles Garrett and his say-so, and the fact that you've got an NFC team, and the fact that we were the number 1 seed, it makes sense. Now, the Commanders could be a real threat. I don't know what their capital is, but it could be a real threat. Michael says, Garrett doesn't have a no-trade clause, but most expect the Browns to honor his wishes and trade him to a contender. They have to make a lot of roster moves before they trade him, though. Now, Miles, they did the same. I'm sorry, Michael, they did the same thing with Za'Darius. They did that same thing. So that's 100%. I expect that. The only thing that I could see is that it seems like there's a little bad blood between Miles and the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to show you what I mean if I still have this bookmarked, which I do not. But I told you guys yesterday that Miles in his letter put, I wasn't trying to go from Canton to Cleveland. I mean, Cleveland to Canton. I'm trying to win Super Bowls. That is in response to what Andrew Berry said in his season-ending press conference. So we've been on for 33 minutes. I'm watching the time now. We will be off in an hour. Dolo says, Eagles can't afford him. What's up, Dime says, you spelled Holmes wrong, by the way. Okay, I do that quite often. It's LM. Let me fix it. Hey, thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Y'all be on it, man. Y'all be on it. Okay, so LMES, right? Is that better? Is that better, bro? Yeah. Y'all be on it, bro. That means y'all watch, and I appreciate y'all watching. Can you imagine when we play the Bears, and if the Bears had even just a 500 base record, going to show you that game? Damian says, you have to remember, though, the Browns already said they aren't trading him. That's going to be a long standoff. By the way, dude, even though I'm a Bears fan, I love your show. So don't go off on mad respect. Damian, you know, bro, I'll give you a pass. I'll give you a pass because I've been on y'all head, bro. Because y'all just insert yourself in situations. And there's a dude on Twitter. His name is EJ, and he's such a punk, bro. He is. But I appreciate you. I'll let you be a part of the stream because I've been charging all of y'all to comment. I don't think Buffalo or Chargers are completely out of it. When it comes to, if Andrew Berry is an idiot, he will trade. I mean, we traded Matthew Stafford in division. So I guess you could say Brad Holmes was an idiot. I mean, I'm not trading Myles Garrett in division. No. I mean, but this is the same guy that traded TJ Hawkinson to a rival. So Brad Holmes, man, I'm telling you, we going to start taking it out on him very soon. What's up, Trey? Says, hey, D, how's this sound to you at 2021, 2023? Okay, there we go. All right, so you heard, that's what I was supposed to do, bro. I'm sorry. So what am I going to do? How do the Detroit Lions get their hands on Myles Garrett? Here's what I'm doing if I didn't already talk about this. The Detroit Lions will trade. You heard from Daniel Jeremiah. Obviously, Cleveland needs a quarterback. Deshaun Watson is not it. His time in Cleveland will eventually be over. He's not going to amount to anything. 2 ACL or Achilles rips, he's done. He's done. If he gets back to a shell of a shell, then that'll be good for him. So Daniel Jeremiah says, you skipped this year. And did I show you? Wait, I didn't show y'all the draft picks, right? We got a super chat from Pringle. Says, we already have a trade history with the Browns. Maybe that works in our favor. Maybe it does. All right. So if I didn't show you, look at what the Cleveland Browns have in 2025. This is going to blow your mind. If Tankathon is right, they have been known to be wrong. But according to Tankathon, 12 picks, 12 of them, 8 are theirs. They got 1 from us, 1 from Buffalo. But this could be wrong because it doesn't update. Sometimes it doesn't update. So correct. If anything is wrong on here, let me know. The same thing with the Detroit Lions. But if this is true, this is a lot of picks. They don't need any more for this season. They don't need a single pick more for this season. This is going to be a rebuild year. You're not going to win anything. I would not be surprised if they are picking top 5 in the 2026 NFL draft. Look at what the Detroit Lions have. Now, we talked about building through the draft. This is what the Detroit Lions have. Now, somebody said the DeAndre Swift pick is gone. If that's so, then this is not here. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, or correct Tankathon if they're wrong. But let me ask you something. What are the Detroit Lions going to do with these picks? Now, keep in mind, Broderick Martin was drafted in between here. And we're talking about drafting a defensive tackle. That has to be a joke. That has to be a joke. Now, look at this. If this is correct, I don't even know where this pick came from. This must have happened in the draft last year. We have 3 7th-round picks. What are we going to do with those 7th-round picks? These guys ain't even making a team. If they do, they might maybe make the team. Let's look at the history of 7th-round picks on the Detroit Lions. Jamar Jefferson, never an impact player. Practice squad warrior, now no longer on the team. Antoine Green didn't make the team. He wound up on injured list this year. Who else? Chase Lucas, special teamer. Who else? 7th-round picks amount to nothing more often than not. So, and ain't nobody gonna take these. So you might as well say, if the Detroit Lions, they package 3 7th-round picks to move up to, who's gonna take 3 7th-round picks? So these are moot. Nobody's gonna care about these. They're going to amount to nothing. And don't forget, the Lions signed Ronnie Bell on a future reserve contract. I forgot all about that. So these are moot. Nobody's going to care about these. Then you go here, Tampa Bay. I'm assuming this came from Carlton Davis. And if this pick is still a thing, then this is all we're working with. If you go to a 6th-round pick, you got James Houston, Malcolm Rodriguez, you've got Christian Mahogany, and Mekhi Wingo. Those are your 6th-round picks. If you go to the 4th round, you got Amon-Ra St. Brown. Are we going to get a Derek Barnes, a St. Brown with this pick here? So this is, and then we got this comp pick from Eric Glenn. We didn't even have this. This is our draft. So if you go back to 2023, let's go back to 2024. I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. What did I do with it? Here it is, 2024. So where's the building? Where's the building at? We've already built. And we're not going to build with 3 7th-round picks. It's not a thing. Pringle with the dono says forget them picks. So I'm asking you, what are the Detroit Lions going to do? What are we doing exactly? So back to how we get our hands on Myles Garrett. According to Daniel Jeremiah, he doesn't see the quarterback in this year's draft. And you hearing that you got Cam Ward, you even heard that the dude from Alabama is like a 3rd-round pick. He's like Kenny Pickett and look what happened with back in 2022, Will Levis, Malik Willis, all of those guys are bust. Every last one of them. Sam Howell. Those guys are bust, right? So if Daniel Jeremiah is saying wait a year, we already looked at the Cleveland Browns draft picks. They're going to be in a rebuild, no doubt. You've got 12 picks according to Tankathon. You don't need any more. You give us Myles Garrett. You get a 1st-round pick for 2026, a 1st-round pick in 2027, and you get Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker can play quarterback along with whoever else you got over there until 2026 when you take your guy. You still got Hendon for another year as you let that dude potentially sit. This ain't going to be no year turnaround for the Cleveland Browns. This ain't. I'll be surprised if Stefanski can come out of this with a job. So if you're Brad Holmes, it is all lining up for you to be able to snag Myles Garrett. So let me see what y'all saying. Because they have so many picks, they might tear it all down and want a place QB holder. Greg, that's my thought. Darius says, do you think a package of Craig Reynolds, Hendon Hooker, and no. You're not taking a guy that's not going to make the team, bro. Darius, that's why we couldn't trade James Houston. They're not going to trade a bubble. I don't see that happening. I like that, though. Craig is a free agent. I think Craig is a restricted free agent. He's a restricted free agent. He's something like that. Derek, I'm getting sick with something. Sorry to hear that, Anakin. They should wait for Archie Manning. What year is he coming out? Browns should be blowing it up. Don't know why it's taking them so long. Because they got a general manager that I can guarantee you that this guy, Brad Holmes, is going to become just like Andrew Berry. If he don't turn this around, and when I say turn it around, I'm talking about like from the dirt. We've done that. That's done. But when I make this video, and for everybody about to build through the draft, this to me destroys that argument. It destroys that argument. Now you can say sell the farm. Can you say that? Brad Holmes, in a way, I mean, to me, Brad Holmes, what he did drafting Broderick Martin is almost the equivalent of selling the farm to me, because you drafted, you could have used players now. Now, imagine if we don't draft Broderick Martin. Imagine that. And we get 2 players that could do something. This guy played 10 snaps or something insane in 2024. There's no more excuses for him, and Brad is running out of them as well. But you don't have to take my word for it. You're going to see. 1 second. That reading rainbow got me sneezing. Okay, let me see. Somebody said something about Cleveland. Okay, so I'm not getting rid of Khalif Raymond. I'm not. However, you did sign Ronnie Bell. I'm not trading Khalif. I'm just not doing that. I think Khalif, if we play him, who we're replacing Hooker with? What do you mean? We got him on the team. Jake Fromm. He's on the team. Them bringing in Teddy Bridgewater tells you that he is not ready. He's not ready. Plus, he's never going to play here. He is never going to play. Get a backup quarterback who is cool with being a backup. Not saying Hendon's not, but who that's what he knows he's going to do. He's going to stay ready. Anybody not named Nate Sudfeld, and go give Hendon a chance. Hendon is not going to, and he's going to be worthless when he comes out in free agency. Raw Detroit in the building. What up, though? Says totally agree, Grid. This is the year you have to sell the farm and get a pass rusher. But that's what we said. And by the way, let's touch on this sell the farm thing real quick. How that working out for the LA Rams? LA Rams seem to be doing just fine. Let's go a little history. What have the LA Rams done since they sold the farm? They have won the Super Bowl, missed the playoffs, made the wild card round, lost to us, made the divisional round, and was a Jalen Carter sack away from going to the NFC Championship game to face the Washington Commanders. That don't seem like a bad trade-off to me. And I got a video coming out later today. I think it's going to be the After Dark video. I recorded it yesterday, but I pushed it back for Cooper Kupp. That Lions fans got a lot of nerve. We got a lot of nerve talking all this junk like we know what it's like selling the farm. We have nothing. We've never won anything. What are we talking about? We acting like we know what it takes to win. We got all these other teams, but we've never won anything in the Super Bowl era. Nobody cares about championships from the 50s. I think about this. My mother was born in 1957. Love you, Mom. She was born the same year that the Lions won their last championship. And I wonder, it was probably a party, bruh. She's too young. She don't know about it. It's her parents. It's my grandfather was probably like, oh, I mean, I couldn't imagine. What did a 1957 Lions championship feel like? I can tell you what it ain't, is the Super Bowl. For 60 years, we've been talking about the same thing. Does Carlton Davis return? Do you cut Iffy? Carlton Davis, he's one of the top corners that's going to be a free agent. And hold on, let's touch on Iffy real quick. Iffy is not part of the team come the new league year. He is a free agent. All right, so the Lions would have to re-sign him. So that's a whole nother story. Carlton Davis, let's talk about it. We traded for him for 1 year, but you can't trade for Myles Garrett? Come on, dog. What did the Lions think we were going to do this year? Right? We not gonna call Carlton Davis? I mean, okay, to say sell the farm, that's a little long. I can't do that, right? But ain't that kind of a midi sell the farm, right? You a loaner? We talk about loaners. At least Zadarius Smith is a 2-year deal. Amik Robinson, multi-year deal. We took out a loaner, gave up draft capital, paid this man over $10 million for a loaner cornerback. But we can't take a shot at Myles Garrett. What's the benefit of cutting Iffy? You gain nothing. Iffy is a free agent. My dad was born in 1950, and I still remember that championship game. Lori, I wish I had the privilege of knowing what that felt like. Bring back Iffy properly. Problem is, Iffy is good only when healthy. I saw a post that if we trade for him. We are not going to pay our players. Okay, production, that really does bug me. It really does bug me. Here's the thing about Detroit Lions fans. We just refuse to let people go. Pay who exactly? Okay? We got Brad Holmes. This is his responsibility to make sure this fits. But I bet you it can. Who are we playing this year? Who are we paying this year? We are not. If the Lions have an opportunity to sign Myles Garrett, but they choose to extend Jameson Williams instead, and we then don't get a pass rusher in an edge in free agency or the draft, I will lose my mind. Jameson Williams has not earned an extension. He's right there. He's right there. Give me a solid year 4, you get your extension. The only people we got to worry about this year is really Kirby Joseph. And if Lions really want to play it a little touchy, they don't got to extend nobody right now. They could if they wait, because who's going to break the market? Who's going to set the market for edge rushers if your name is not Aiden in the near future? Nobody that I know. Myles Garrett, Max Crosby got 2 more seasons. You could give Hutch an extension next year. And if I'm Hutch's camp, I say, if they're going to make me the highest paid edge rusher, I take it. If they lowball me, I don't take it. I say, let me give you year 4. Let me earn this extension, and then you pay me my money. You make me the highest paid defensive end in the National Football League. That's where I'm at. Okay, they said Gibbs, Anzalone, and more. Okay, no disrespect to Alex Anzalone, but come on. Come on, y'all. Alex is going to break the bank. Okay, Alex he's a guy. He's not just a guy, and he made a difference when he was out. But if you talking about breaking the bank for Alex Anzalone and bringing in Myles Garrett, that's a no-brainer to me. That's not even a question. All right, now who else did you say? Okay, Jahmyr Gibbs is going into year 3. What are we talking about paying him for? We can't even pay him right now. And then who was the last one? Brian Branch, I guess. What are we talking about? What's up, Henry? Says, is it worth whatever it takes to get Garrett? He is it is worth whatever it takes to get Garrett. He is a generational player. The Lions can't let the rare opportunity pass them by. Garrett was born to be a Lion. My comments are transparent. Okay, J-Rod, I'm assuming you mean I don't see them, right? That's not true. Let me explain to you like I explained. As a matter of fact, let me show you so you'll know. Let me bring this over here. All right, so I don't know if you let me blow this up so you can maybe see it. Okay. Dang, now my software done popped over there. All right. Okay. So here's what my chat looks like. Now I blew it up. Normally, I blew it up so you guys can see it. Normally it looks like this. Nope, not like that. Hold on. It looks like this. You see how many comments I can see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So after these 5 comments, I can't see. So I look what's in my screen, right? So I'm not ignoring anybody comments. If I don't see your comment, the best thing to do would be to copy and paste it back in here. Because it's not that I can't see them. Because this is all YouTube gives me. You see how it bumps out the other one, right? Shout out to Dirty Money. 8 months. What up, man? Halfway, almost to the other one, man. So that's what that is. I'm not ignoring anybody's comments. I just can't see them. What's up, Greg says, we got 9 minutes to be on. After seeing all those picks, they probably want more picks in 26 and 27, or in 26 and 27. Let me cut back to me because I forgot I wasn't on screen, and then I'll continue with that. Plus, they will have Garrett replacement with Carter, 2025 first and fourth, 2026 first, third, and sixth. Okay, where do y'all think Abdul Carter is going to go? Where do you think he's going to go? Oh, no, J-Rod, I got you, bro. I got you, but I want people to know I'm not trying to ignore them. I only see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They give you about, wait, hold on. Wait, what did you say, Ryan? Need your camera back on? Oh, yeah. My bad. My fault. Top 5. Okay, so the Lions ain't getting their hands on him. That ain't going to happen. Brad Holmes, that is not going to happen. You would have to give up the same thing you would give up for Miles, you would give up for Carter. You're not going to move up from 28 to 5 and not give up 2 first. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude this impromptu live stream, Syndicate Sports Detroit will be back next week, hopefully on Monday. I've got a lot of doctor's appointments and stuff with the kid and homeschooling stuff, a lot of stuff going on. So that's what that is. But Brad Holmes, this is an opportunity. It literally does not get any better than this. It doesn't. This could be the gift that we've been waiting on. I mean, real talk. I'm thinking of it. What if this is what we were waiting on, right? What if we were waiting on Myles Garrett to be available? Now, he's technically not available at this moment, but I guarantee you he does not play another snap for the Cleveland Browns. That relationship is disintegrated. And don't forget, they traded away Baker Mayfield. And who knows how he felt about that? Baker was winning them games. They traded for Deshaun Watson. The Cleveland Browns are a dumpster fire. He is not going to play another snap in Cleveland. This is the equivalent of Hutch asking for a trade. Ain't it? This is what it would feel like if Aiden Hutchinson asked for a trade. Devastating. I could only imagine. I think I would be sick. I think I would be physically sick if Hutch asked for a trade. Jack Sawyer, Derek, would you draft Shamir Stewart? Can't really say I have to look at him. I don't really pay attention to college stuff until the NFL season is over. I refused. So I want to enjoy the season because look at us now. It's February 4th. Lions have been eliminated for 17 days, and it feels like 17 weeks. But after the Super Bowl is over, then that's when things will speed up. I will be going to the Combine on day 1, which is the day that the defensive line is doing their workouts. So I'll be there. They said we can't pay Kirby, Anzo, J-Mo, Jameer, Laporta, and Branch if we trade for him. AA Productions, that's all false. The Lions can literally do whatever they want to do. San Francisco has shown you that it can be done. Whether or not he does it, that's a different question. Plus, a lot of those cats are years away from this. Trey says, to be fair, based on his history, if Brad doesn't mess this up, if Brad doesn't mess this up, I will be super surprised. Trey, what does that mean? Does that mean that he doesn't make the deal or he makes the deal? Oh, Greg says, no, I mean Cleveland is getting Carter. There you go. Replace Miles. And that's another thing, y'all, about picking late. Let's see who Tankathon has us taking with the 28th pick. They got us taking Walter Nolan, a defensive lineman from Ole Miss. He's 6'4", 290 pounds, had 48 tackles, 6.5 sacks. Then they got us taking Jared Ivey, which is a 6'6" defensive end with pick number 60. 285, he had 7 sacks. Okay, you know what? Let's see where these guys are going. Mock draft. All right, let's see. Now, Tankathon be way off. They be way off, bro, but it's fun to look at. All right, so here's the mock draft. I can't believe I'm uttering the words mock draft. Oh, I'm so tired. Just get to a Super Bowl. They got Cam Ward going number 1. Abdul Carter going to Cleveland. There goes that. Shedeur Sanders going to the New York Giants. Travis Hunter going to the New England Patriots. So then we go all the way down to us. They got Mykel Williams, which is a guy that's on my list. They got him going top 10. Then you got James Pierce. They got him going to San Francisco. That's 2. Mike Green is where? Mike Green to Cincinnati. They could use an edge rusher. All they got is Trey, really. So there's 3 of those guys. And then the last one is Jack Sawyer. They got us taking, wow, Jack Sawyer. So according to Tankathon, Jack Sawyer should still be available. 6'4", 265, 9 sacks. I got to watch some of his film, man. I got to watch some of his because I I don't keep up with none of that stuff, and because it's just I can't do it, man. I'm not looking at prospects. I'm not a scout. I'm trying to enjoy the NFL and see how my team could be. I'm not looking. That ain't my job. You know what I'm saying? My job is to talk about the Lions, not be watching scout tape and no. I want to enjoy the season, because guess what? If we was playing in the Super Bowl, I'd be in New Orleans. I'd be packing up to go down there. Ain't nobody talking about the draft, man, and the combine. I wouldn't be thinking about this. Anyway, all right, we have made it. Let me see. Trading for Garrett is worth it. I think that type of talent doesn't become available very often. He is worth whatever it costs to get Garrett to Detroit. I think, let me ask you a question. We'll get off. This is the last question. Answer this on playback in the comment section. Appreciate everybody who watches this on playback. You guys really do make this channel. Do you think Myles Garrett, Brad Holmes draft, and free agency, do you think it's enough during his contract in the next 2 seasons that the Lions would at least make a Super Bowl? Let me know your thoughts. We're going to talk about this in video form as well. So thank you guys so much. I will catch you next time. I don't know when the next time I'm going live. This was kind of an impromptu. It was a lot to unpack, a lot to talk about, and I wanted you guys' feedback on it. But Syndicate Sports Detroit, we go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Eventually, it might be every day, depending on if I have the time to do that. So I appreciate everybody. The goal is to stay under an hour this time. But what about Cooper Kupp? Okay, so I have seen some stuff coming out. I got to do a little bit more research. Ryan, if you see something with them, I've been seeing that he's connected to Detroit. Like last night, I didn't see this, but today I did. So let me know if so. Send me that on Twitter, man. I would appreciate it, and I'll talk about that. But appreciate everybody in, man. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. I'm on my way to get some BOGO Buffalo Wild Wings, and I will catch you guys in the next one.